What's going on, everybody? Cerebral54 here, and I have some crucial news if they end up becoming true for the TCG. So I'm over here on Pokebeach, and Water Pokemon Master, the guy that owns Pokebeach, one of his sources managed to get an email interview with Creatures Inc. to discuss, the future of the Sword and Shield TCG, the new era that we're in. And from what it seems like, they want to simplify the game even more. They want to make weakness more significant. They want Pokemon to be hitting for weakness a lot more frequently. And they want that to be between fewer types. So, your typical types: grass, water, fire, lightning, fighting, psychic, the OG types, you could say. And that's why they got rid of Fairy, and there's a chance they're going to get rid of Dragon too. Now, this isn't confirmed yet, but just like the article says here, we didn't get any Dragon type Pokemon in the base Sword and Shield set, which is kind of suspect. Now, I'm going to go down and show you guys a really good comment that really resonated with me. Okay, this guy here, the Card Pwn. And he's saying weakness and resistance were way more exciting in DP, Platinum, and prior days when they weren't so rigid. They've steadily become less and less varied over the years and generations, and it's just creating a more and more boring format. I've said it before, the bad in this generation has vastly outweighed the good, and this is my least favorite generation by a wide margin. Okay, so obviously, for me, I'm always going to say like the Golden Age, the EX era, and even the DP era just basically shits on the formats we've had recently. But just like the dude is saying, there's some good stuff, they have some good ideas, they bring in some good cards, but they're just going one step forward, two steps back. And the dude is right, and I'm glad other people are feeling like this. In DP particularly, there was such a variety between weakness and resistance, all of the different Pokemon, their types. You might have had like an Abomasnow, grass, using water energies, being weak to fire, having some sort of other resistance. I mean, to put it in perspective, there's a Bronzong, an SP Bronzong back then that is, I think, weak to Psychic and weak to fire. You would see that card and you'd be thinking, is this like some sort of error? But no, that's actually a real card if any of the newer guys saw that card today. And it always annoyed me, I mentioned this before in other videos, that I don't get why they're simplifying the weaknesses and just not being creative. Make X ground Pokemon weak to water, make another ground Pokemon weak to grass, and what have you, and varying the weakness and stuff. And if they go along with what they're saying here, it just seems like it's going to be worse. I actually think it's a bad thing if weakness is just so common and people hit for weakness all the time. Because you have one deck, let's say like Fire, it becomes really popular, and then if all of the grass Pokemon are weak to fire, it just automatically makes all of the grass Pokemon bad. So I never liked this sort of thing, the direction they've been going since the black and white era pretty much, where there isn't enough variety of weakness and resistance and stuff like that. Now, if you look at this chart here that Pokebeach has made, it might not be as bad as we think, but I'm still sort of very skeptical. Obviously they changed the poison types from Psychic, they made them dark too. They got rid of the fairy types altogether. They might get rid of the dragon type altogether too. And you've got a bunch of different types here, like grass in the game, being grass in the TCG, weak to fire. Bug, being bug in the TCG, weak to fire stuff. And if you look at this chart, I'm not going to go through it, but you do see that some types, it's still going to be like how we know it, like the ice type is water, weak to metal. Okay, that's great. And there is a little bit of variety, like some types hit for weakness, specific types. You got water only hitting fire. You've got darkness hitting a few things, fighting hitting a few things, and vice versa. Grass is weak to a bunch of stuff, but can hit a few things for weakness too. So it might not be too bad. But I never understood why they had to go this route. I mean, everything was fine the way I see it in the DP era, where you had a lot of different weaknesses and resistances on the same types of Pokemon. It made things more creative, more flexible, you could say. You could make some combinations of Pokemon and they wouldn't be weak to the same type. To be honest, I wouldn't even mind if they went back to the plus weakness in DP, not just always being times 2, because, like I've said, if you're just weak to a certain type, depending on how much damage your opponent can deal to you, it's pretty much an auto loss. Like if you use a tank deck, let's say you're weak to fire, no matter what you do, unless you use the frying pan or something, I guess, then you're gonna die in one shot if a Reshiram Charizard hits you. Another annoying thing that's going to become a reality if they go with this is certain cards will lose their long-term expanded potential. Like Mysterious Treasure is a good card. Searcher getting Psychic Pokemon and Dragon type Pokemon and you discard a card. But if they eliminate Dragon Pokemon altogether, then that means in the future the Dragon type Pokemon already there are going to get power crept, and then Mysterious Treasure is much weaker, only getting Psychic Pokemon. So I don't understand why they want to go through with this. It just seems like Pokemon TCG, they have the opposite effect of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Just tries to get more and more complicated for no reason and just tries to one-up itself every time. And just Pokemon, it's like it wants to get simpler and simpler. And I don't understand. We hit that sweet spot years ago in the DP era and the Golden Age, the EX era, third generation, and they just want to make it more simple. Now, if this goes through, they're probably going to make mono dragon type Pokemon be colorless again. There are 12 as pokebeach lists here that are only pure dragon. So if they go through with this, the Pokemon that are just pure dragon and no other type, they're going to have to make them colorless or something. I have no idea. Now, I will admit, if they start making those dragon type Pokemon be types like maybe fire or water, if they make sense for them to be like, if they made Salamence fire, that would have been pretty cool. If they made something like Dragalge be water, that would have been pretty cool as well. So that's a cool way of twisting things, but their mentality in general is the problem, where they think that they have to simplify the game and make Pokemon be more likely to hit for weakness more frequently the priority. So that sucks. So the article is on pokebeach. You can go ahead and read the whole thing if you want to. You can check out the comments too. Let me know what you guys think in the YouTube comments. Do you like this? If they get rid of the dragon type and they just make it colorless again, or the fact that they're trying to simplify the game and just have more things be weak to common types and just Pokemon hit for weakness a lot more frequently, because I don't think it's a good idea. But anyways, short video. I was supposed to have a match today, but this is kind of crucial news if they end up becoming true. So, Cerebro54, thank you guys for watching. I'll have the match I was supposed to have today, tomorrow. Cerebro54, we'll say.